Guys, welcome back, and today I'll be doing the next part for What If Raditz Came Early for Goku. Now, before we get going, I do just want to explain that this part is going to be extremely short, mostly because I want to set up for the next, well, proper big arc, and to do that I need to, kind of take a hit in the length of this one. I hope people don't mind, and I still get a lot covered this part, but for the most part this will be a shorter part than normal. With that out of the way, I hope everyone enjoys. Now let's get going. Last time we saw what happened in the Battle of Gods, with Goku's power being enough to inspire Beerus to get back into training just a bit. However, soon the god does return back to sleep. Now, both Goku and Raditz start training on Beerus' planet. We'll join our story now. Now, with the two out training, Beerus heads back to Earth to spend time with the Galactic Patrol, while everyone else continues their life and training on Earth. With a few months going by, soon the Guardian of Earth Tien notices the sky turns black one day, and heads off to figure out what's going on, sensing a few strange powers. With him arriving, he finds some Frieza Force members having used the Dragon Balls to revive Frieza. In this timeline, he was never cut up, so he's still intact. Frieza laughs at the sight of the human, and realizes he's got a different attire on. However, Tien just smiles, as he quickly gets the information he needed, learning of how they collected the Dragon Balls, and learning that they only wish to bring back Frieza. Before then, killing off both Frieza's henchmen, and then turning towards Frieza. With him looking over towards the Emperor, he says how he should have just stayed dead. Tien quickly finishes off Frieza before leaving, getting back to his training, hardly even working up a sweat. Now with this done, the timeline moves forward, to the point of Chomper's arrival. Things go normal, up until the team making selection. With Goku and Raditz thinking of recruiting Beerus, they are told by Whis and Beerus they are not allowed to bring him. The pair, being confused, asks why, but Beerus says how they will not be allowed to use him, and that is the end of it. With them going off to collect their team, they first pick up Gohan, Trunks, and next decide to grab Tien and Krillin. With that, they have got a full team. However, the fact they weren't allowed to use Beerus does make them think for a bit, and they soon come to the realization that there might be more to the fighting than they first realized. However, for now, the idea of entering a tournament is far too exciting for them, so they get ready. With the lineup going, Trunks, Tien, Raditz, Gohan, Krillin, and then Goku. With the first round underway, Trunks easily beats Botamo. It's one quick hit and he's done. With that done, Trunks goes on to fight Frost. However, he is cheated by a poison attack, weakening Trunks and leading to Frost's victory. But the watchful eye of our Guardian notices this. Tien doesn't say anything, but steps into the arena. Once entering, he has a bit of a clash with Frost, toying with him, before Frost gets ready to jab Tien with a poison needle. When Tien points out the fact that Frost is cheating, Frost flustered goes to land a hit, but Tien easily catches it. With him showing off the needle to everyone is shocked. The ref is about to call Frost out, however, Tien powers up to a Kaioken times 100 and easily knocks Frost out with one hit, with Tien hardly needing to try throughout this entire fight. However, thanks to using the Kaioken times 100, he does feel somewhat of the effects. Next is Tien versus Magetta, and he has an easy time here. Look, I know in the Moro arc he said he couldn't really insult people, but in OGDB he was calling people out all the time, so we're going to leave it with that. With him giving a good insult, winning the fight, soon Kaba comes into the arena, with Tien testing out the young Saiyan, and he finds him pretty interesting, but Tien can't teach him anything about the Super Saiyan state, and just tells the kid to keep training on. Obviously agrees, soon leaves the arena and Hit enters. Tien gets ready to fight, getting into a fighting stance straight away. Tien knew this was going to be the most interesting fight in the tournament. Tien gives a look to Hit and then powers up to his Kaioken times 100. He rushes towards Hit before being taken down in one quick blow. Everyone's shocked since no one saw Hit even throw a punch. Tien is helped out of the arena, with him sharing what he learned, which isn't a lot, but he says he definitely felt more than one punch. Interested, Raditz steps into the arena as everyone watches in anticipation. With Raditz not wanting to get ringed out as easy as Tien did, he decides to go all out from the get-go, showing off the Super Saiyan Blue state for the first time. His power feels incredible, and it even surpasses Hit's. The assassin actually flinches a bit and gets serious right from the get-go. Raditz begins to rush towards Hit and the fight breaks out. This fight is heavily in Raditz's favour. Raditz's power is far too much for Hit's time skip. Raditz is just brute forcing his way through it. With Hit trying his best to increase his time skip, Raditz does realise that he is having a harder time the longer the fight goes on. As Hit's time skip increases, Raditz is having to output more power. Soon enough, Raditz realises he needs to end this fight and goes for a quick knockout, powering up to his max and hitting Hit once. This leads to Universe 7 winning with ease. Now things here go like normal. Zeno shows up, Goku makes friends with him, and the thought of a bigger tournament comes around. And with that done, we head into our next arc, with this being the Goku Black arc. Or should I say the Raditz Black arc? Well, that doesn't happen here. You see, back a few parts ago, I talked about covering the future timeline. And I'm going to do that once I complete this series. But for now, I'm just going to skip over this. The future timeline is safe. After all, they have every fighter still. They're just down a Goku. So with this done, the time travelers don't need to come back. So the Earth enters kind of a year of peace, leading up to the Tournament of Power. I hope people don't mind them skipping over this, but it'll be something we cover in a later part, so don't worry about it. Now, with that done, we are heading on to the Tournament of Power. And here things go a bit smoother near the start. After a whole year since the Universe 6 vs 7 tournament, both Goku and Raditz have been spending a bit of downtime on Earth. And when they're not doing this, they're training with Whis or off on missions with Beerus, and even training with Beerus most of the time. But the pair have just enjoyed their downtime for the most part. But they have grown a little bit bored. No one in the universe really challenges them anymore. So Goku does remember about the Tournament of Power, but he decides to hold off on it for now. Not wanting to push things. Alongside this, something more interesting has come around in the fact that Gohan and Trunks have started to work under the Galactic Patrol, which has led to Goku and Raditz not wanting their sons to surpass them in terms of reputation in the Galactic Patrol, causing a sort of rivalry between the hybrids and the full-blooded Saiyans. With Gohan and Trunks actually making pretty good names for themselves right from the get-go, but they're climbing very fast and hopefully will surpass their fathers. Now, a while later than in canon, the tournament is announced. With Zeno not needing to watch an exhibition match, they never have to do this. The likes of Goku and Raditz happen to be on the planet of Beerus when the announcement was made, so they head off to start collecting people. Goku says how he will go off to collect Beerus, Gohan, and Trunks, and Beerus says how they're not allowed to take Beerus. This takes them off guard as this is a very different situation from the tournament from ages ago, as an argument breaks out saying how they need to use their strongest fighters. Beerus starts arguing back, and the two start asking why they can't use him. With Beerus going on to explain, Goku calmly responds, "It's because he's an angel, right?" Beerus nods his head, not realizing what he's just did. With Goku and Raditz laughing, as Whis then asks how they figured it out. Raditz goes on to explain that after the tournament last year, they started to piece things together. Things like his power, knowing things about the Ultra Instinct technique, and how similar he and Whis look. They started to piece things together, and they just needed one final bit to, pull it all together, and they needed to trick Beerus into telling the truth. Beerus is angry, but happy at least he doesn't have to keep this secret from them anymore. He hopes Beerus still brings him food every now and again. However, Beerus soon yells at them, telling them to leave, with them teleporting away to Earth and then splitting off to collect their team. Goku collects Gohan, Trunks, and even Beerus, while Raditz grabs Chi-Chi, Tien, Krillin, Goten, Yamcha, and Upa. Everyone gets filled in and told the truth thanks to Raditz's involvement, and Goku would have told the truth in canon. They're all a bit shaken, but they all soon get to training. With Beerus hearing this, he understands he can't be involved, but Goku and Raditz pull Beerus to the side and explain how they know everything. He's a bit startled, but they soon go on to explain how they don't care, he's still their friend, and they won't share his secret with anyone else. Beerus sighs in relief and thanks them, then asks what they need him to do. Goku goes on to explain how he would like Beerus to take Gohan and Trunks into the time chamber to get some good training in with an angel. Two are incredibly strong but have no access to God Key. Hopefully, just from some sparring with Beerus, it will give them a small access of it, and hopefully they can work up from there. Hearing this, Beerus is more than happy to do so. He pulls the two aside and tells them that they're going to go ahead and train in the time chamber like their fathers did ages ago. Gohan and Trunks are happy to do this, and they head off into the time chamber, with the others just continuing on with their training. Soon, their day of training goes by, and it's time to head off to the tournament grounds. And this is where I'm leaving this part. I know I've left it just before the Tournament of Power, but I literally plan on having quite an interesting Tournament of Power. even though I don't know how it will go. Anyway, I hope everyone enjoyed. I am really sorry for the really short part. This is not very long for mine, but hopefully people have sat down and watched the whole thing because of it. I know a lot didn't happen either. This is a very small part, but it actually has a lot to do with the story. I will eventually cover the future timeline. It's just something that needs to happen at a different point. Like I said, I want to cover a timeline anyway at some point. The future timeline, I mean. So yeah, hopefully that'll happen at some point, and leave a like on the video if you enjoyed. For now, I hope you all have a good day and a great night, and hopefully I'll see you next time.